is brought to you by Society Art Villeray. This exclusive gallery features local and international artists showcasing their extraordinary artistic talents. This fine gallery may also serve as a venue for your special events. You can find them on Instagram and online at societyart.ca. Thank you, Society Art Villeray. And now we return you to your podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to a special podcast, Lonely Lisa podcast of Let's Talk It Out.
How did I just get excluded on that?
I'm not done yet.
Yes, you said lonely. That means
in
I'm
front
alone.
of the camera.
In lonely means alone, isn't that word?
Yes, do I have company on the sofa?
Yes, you do. You have two beautiful Christmas trees.
You're a tree. You're a shrub.
I'm a tree?
You're a shrub.
How you doing, Lisa?
I'm good, you?
I'm very good.
So this is a very unique podcast because this unique podcast represents everything that happened during the course of this wonderful year we know as 2024. And a lot of stuff has happened. I've lost my co-host. I don't know where she went. Francesca is the ghost of Christmas past. Okay. So eventually, we are now in the present, so the ghost of the future, we hope, will be here in 2025.
She will.
I know she will. I'm kidding.
She's already told us like 100 times, guys, I'm going to be coming back more
so
and more
she's going to be
often."
coming back. So
We heard it 100 times, but I mean, it doesn't matter.
And it's okay because she's not going to watch. So that's really
She
good.
is
It's
not gonna
gonna
watch. She's
so
definitely-
we pretty much say whatever we want.
What was her answer? She said, "Why would I watch it? I was there." Because now we could tell her,
Now we can tell where you weren't.
"You're not there."
Right, said, well, we can super the CG.
Yeah,
That's
CGI.
my daughter to CG her face. You know, I can hold a sock puppet. I can pretend I'm like Dunham. You know, like
My
Peanuts,
God.
you know? No? Anywhozer, so that's one of the extravagant events that happened this year. Amongst those were the many guests that we had on, memorable guests at that, and a lot of them were friends of mine whom I've known for the longest time. And the whole reason for this year, and I'm not going to sit and recount and rehash who everybody was, but I think I want to take this time to represent, to speak on what the year has represented for me in terms of...
And for Let's Talk It Out.
And for Let's Talk
I
It
know
Out.
you're alone in this lonely thing, but Let's Talk It Out as a group, and we're a good group.
Let's talk it out, yes. So I'm going to include you, Vanny, but
No.
because you keep interrupting,
No, you did
I don't
not
have the
include me.
chance to get there.
I'm going to interrupt you all the
I
time.
know,
It's
because
my
you're
job.
just a scotchabal.
My job.
Anyways.
It's my job.
So the whole year, in essence, represented a journey. And the journey itself was based on, I guess, a personal growth in terms of networking, about myself as well, because I told the podcast alone with Steph. No, I'm kidding.
Alone.
I'm kidding. I said, with Steph, I said.
Alone with Steph.
Oh, I have an itch right here and here.
You should scratch it.
Yeah, I did. And so the whole journey itself was to meet the new people, and the questions that I've asked really helped me get grow as a person, grow as an understanding of, who I am in relation to these people, especially the people that I've known for the longest time. And I think that's very, very important because it sort of hits on the whole purpose and the premise of the podcast, which is to, to showcase different talent, different business people, why they do what they do, and how they inspire others. And I can honestly say that they've inspired me during out this whole journey. People they came from hardship, and they came from families of hardship, and then they came with talents, and they came with, entrepreneurial skills, and they built themselves up. And I guess the whole purpose of this podcast is exactly that. You start from the very beginning, on a clean slate to understand who these people are and see how they grew. And in essence, I kind of grew with them because I kind of learned what made them have that strength, what they've embodied in terms of, knowledge, in terms of how they excelled, the motivation and the perseverance to do certain things. And I guess this podcast represents that as well, the perseverance and the dedication to grow and We grew with the cups.
Grow with the cups. We made some money this year.
And our
Yahoo!
sponsors, which are, they helped us along, and that was part of our growth. It was reaching out to people who graciously helped us out, and that's part of the growth process. So I think the podcast in itself represents me in that sense. And there were your ups and downs. There were moments that we had to find guests that was very difficult. There were moments that we were not able to film. There were moments I was my co-host predominantly, but she was busy as well, in all fairness. But you learn how to take control of certain situations and make them better and grow into a positive mindset and a positive framework. And I think I really appreciate the podcast for that. And not only the podcast for that, but I appreciate, I will say it.
You're damn right.
It's not 2025 yet, so just saying now before the new year starts, so I start with a clean slate.
Say it.
I do appreciate Stefano and all the work he's done and all the dedication and being on the podcast and being present. And I will not forget as well my daughter, Sierra, who's also helped out with the lives, who's also, she's here and she's always, ready to
Edit. She does a lot of editing.
And take one with the team. So she's done the lives as well. She's done podcasts. She is doing podcasts. So thank you so much. I don't do this alone, and I find the podcasts are
Damn
always
right.
a team effort.
Damn right.
They are a team effort.
Yeah. Just that I decide, but I mean, no, just kidding. I'm so joking.
Yeah,
I'm happy. I gotta have fun. It's
okay. Sometimes the liquor takes
It's
effect.
called-
It's a bit delayed.
called Let's Talk It Out. We're
That's right.
talking.
Yes, we are. And that's the whole premise of it, is that very fact, is that it's not a one-man show. It's a team effort. And that is the most important part of it. It's that you work together and you come to an understanding, and that Lisa's always right. And the idea,
To be fair, we don't step on each other's
we don't.
toes. So we work together for sure. But I mean, it's a clear cut, not clear cut, but let's talk it out. You're going to talk about, with the person, what you're doing. You do a great job at it. In terms of the filming and the audio and stuff. I'm behind the
absolutely.
scenes, and your
Yes.
daughter, of course.
Yes.
And then you're the one who does the sponsorship stuff, and it we don't walk on each other's toes. We know what we have to do.
Yeah.
We have a pretty. It's considering it's like our third and fourth job,
Christ.
we have a pretty good.
Handle.
Well, we run it a pretty tight ship. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty tight ship. We have posting schedules and we make our own deadlines. We don't have to. It's just a podcast for fun.
Yeah.
We're not making we're definitely not making a living out of this, but we're
But we're enjoying it.
we're enjoying it. And, we have sponsorship that helps it, that makes it
Yeah.
always so much more fun with those cups and stuff like that. But you know what? We put our own deadlines to not make it too lackadaisical and too easygoing. We want it to be, we want to come out every second Wednesday. We want to have
Structure.
posts. We want to have a structure, and
Yeah.
we each do our part. So that's what makes it work well. And we input on the guests as well. We all, we discuss it. Hey, I'd like to have this person. What do you think? I'd like to have this person. Oh, what do you think? Like some of the guests we had were pretty awesome. That's what makes the show good as well. Who sticks out to you as a guest that you had this year?
I can't choose one. I
mean,
can't
this-
choose one because they were all so. I mean, we had Justin, the coach of DiBella.
Yeah.
And there was just so much energy in the room that, he put me up. I don't even know why I was excited. I was
I
excited
know.
seeing him excited.
He had a hell of an energy. That's
But
for sure.
it's contagious. It's infectious in a good way. And again, and I find in the world of podcasting, I mean, you see a lot of podcasts out there, and I know there's so many, and people just sort of say, oh, what the heck am I going to watch? But in the end, the choice resides to what resonates to the audience, what allows the audience to become engaged with the guest, and never mind the host, just the guest itself. And that's what matters, is the fact that we are trying to create the rapport with our followers, with our viewers. And it's so important to have that viewership, because not only does it encourage us, but it helps you learn about people in your area in Montreal, and not just in Montreal predominantly, but on the outskirts as well. But we do have people here, and I consider them as well, the people on the show, whether they're entrepreneurs or talent or what, they're all celebrities in their own right. Because they do what they do, and they do it with a passion, just like somebody who's a musician, somebody who's an actor. Everything that is done with the premise of wanting to always better themselves.
Well, you saw our resident chef. I mean, not resident because
Derek.
we have a lot of, but Derek was. You saw the passion.
Yes,
All the guests.
yeah.
All the guests. They have a passion for what they do, and that's why a podcast is amazing, because you get an inspiration and you see what it takes. It's not a 2-minute conversation
No.
with someone like a regular interview. It's a sit down. It's a chat. It's a kind of like behind the scenes, and you see, like we had your, Lenny was on, and
Lenny
Rosie.
also, Rosie
And Rosa
Comedina.
Comedina.
Yeah.
Like they're in the acting world, and we had others as well. But
You had Helene Roos, which is a friend of mine.
but you see the work that it takes. Like with a podcast, it's a sit down talk for an hour, and you get into their world. It's not just it was a lot of work. No, it's like you actually see the work, and you see the passion, and you see how much they're dedicated to whatever it is. The guy who did the ball guy, what's his name? The Soleil dude, David.
yes,
David Menes was like, wow.
Yeah. But it kind of opens your eyes, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
find people are very, very they're narrow. They could be closed-minded in terms of what happens in our city, because it's very hard. It's very hard to leave a footprint.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very hard because there's just so much happening, and everybody wants to have that magical footprint and the followers but in the end, what it really matters is who you are, who we have on the podcast. And the importance of that is because you know these people, and I'm sure many of you have come across them, and you just can't put your finger on it who they are. Right? But we do moments, we do lives. We did the art gallery. Thank you, Em.
Well, speaking
for their
of which,
fantastic.
yeah, that's something I wanted to bring up. We tried to create a little bit of
tribe.
a little community. No, but it's a community.
Yeah.
And we're not hitting millions of people. We know that. There's so many podcasts. We're very local. We do actually, it's funny. We're in a lot of countries. Like with
Yeah,
the
I know.
Spotify
It's like,
hits,
wow.
hits like some crazy, but it's a small little community, and we have to bring up. You brought him up, that's why I'm talking about it. And
Yeah,
with this
absolutely.
gallery, he likes us so much, and we love him obviously.
he's awesome.
But he brought us into it. He's got this art gallery, and he likes us being. He likes the vibe. He's part of our community, and we are part of his. And
His
know,
entourage.
we're part of his entourage,
We're
and-
like part of his tribe. Yeah.
kind of thing. Like now when it comes to art, my eyes are always open, because I deal with him and he deals with us. And when it comes to he calls me once a week just with a different podcast idea.
That's fantastic.
I have an idea to do another podcast. That maybe we should try doing this, that. I want to try this. And he's, yes, we've been buddies, but we never had this type of relationship, this type of camaraderie. And, we were able in 2024 to start with this amazing gallery and do lives from here and go into the world of art with different artists. And people just learn. Even if you're not an artist, you don't have to watch the podcast or listen because you're an artist, because you're not going to learn something in an hour of, something that people took 20 years to. But it's an inspiration for whatever you do.
Yeah.
So if you are into acting and you listen to the art one, it's the same correlation.
It's talent.
It's the talent and the
talent.
work you put behind it.
Yeah.
And Lisa, we have to give props to you. You know how to get the questions. You know how to hit the topics that are important.
Well, I think, and I see it as, I think anybody who is brought into a situation where they're being interviewed, I think it's important for them to shine, because you're asking somebody, you're inviting somebody. It's like inviting somebody to your house and you just offer them water, right?
Yeah.
The whole purpose is to help this person shine, to learn what they do, how they do it. I know John Cassius, he did the therapy, the athletic
athletic,
therapy.
the sports therapy.
He was talking about injuries, athletes. And that is something that, not many people will think about. You won't sit around saying, well, that's the first thought that comes to mind. You don't know what somebody is, struggling with, which other topics we had discussed. You don't know what somebody has come from. You don't know where they've come from. And this is, a lot of people will probably say, it doesn't really matter. I don't know the person. But in the end, you can relate because we're all people. We're all humans and we all come from the same situations. Not exact, but we can relate to them. And I think the whole premise of the guests is that these are people who are once like you, starting off, that managed to get somewhere or do something because of the backbone or because of the passion or because of the, Steph, you're a musician. You started from day one. So you and yourself are an inspiration to other people, especially to the musicians on your podcast.
Yeah, I'm definitely not an inspiration, but
Shut up.
No, I mean...
Yes, you are.
No.
And the reason, yes, you are. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you had the ability to take something and make it grow and make it flourish and give it a life of your own. And you managed to succeed at it.
Yeah, that's the easy part. Not the succeeding is not the easy part, but the when you have something you enjoy, you just do it to the best of your ability.
But not many people have that.
Well, they do. If they want to.
If they want to, they have to have the drive.
It's
and not many people
self-discipline.
do.
Self-discipline.
Exactly. So the whole premise of a podcast, for Let's Talk It Out predominantly, is to show and to sort of help people see within themselves that from all walks of life, regardless of what you do, that there's always that ability to follow your passion or to follow an interest. And you have proof of people who've done it, right? And people you don't think that would ever manage to succeed at whatever, they do. It's important to know that there's so many things, there's so many walks of life, there's so many hobbies, there's so many, professions that people touch on that you can sort of maybe not identify with, but you can say, oh, I never even thought about that. So just open your minds and just embrace what is, and what can be.
So, I mean, on to, obviously it's a mini podcast. We're doing a little session, a little mini podcast, but it's, we were like, okay, we know the holidays is not quiet. It's busy for everybody.
Busy, yeah.
There's less people sitting down, listening and watching the podcast just because it's busy. December is busy and the holiday, you're with your family and we want you to be, we're promoting, be with your family, take the time.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to we wanted to put something out, but we didn't want to have a guest on this podcast because we just wanted to make it like a Christmas special where we talk about it. And we don't, if you have to, we don't want to take the busy time and have a guest. And I don't want to say waste a guest because no guest is wasted, but I would want to, when we get back down to the nitty gritty,
give them the proper,
I want to give the guest the proper,
attention,
the proper attention it needs. So this, we know was going to come out during the Christmas. So we wanted to just talk about, a little bit of Christmas. What's in store for you for Christmas now? What's your big shindig happening? Is there anything happening? Is it just family, which is amazing?
There's family.
A lot of food, family, gifts, and all of that stuff.
Well, you just said it. So that's what it is. There's a lot of, there's going to be a lot of get-togethers. There's going to be gift exchanges. There's going to be a lot of food. But it's going to be, it's normally, for me, it's normally a busy time because I like to entertain. So I'm in the process of figuring out how I'm going to do that. I'm going to be taking my time off though. Now I'm going to be taking my
Not
time.
Too much because we got work to do.
Right.
But you know what? Let's ask our audience, whoever watches, let's ask them, please write suggestions in the comments. Type it in there. In the new year, we've got ideas. We've got people that, we have a couple of guests already booked. They're going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be really interesting. Especially Let's Talk It Out has so many different styles of people. So many, from Julia Garofano. And then you had Pamela Pagano. I mean, we had and they're all different. We had, comedians, actors, all of that stuff. It's always different, but it's good to get ideas. We always brainstorm to get the right guests and to try and keep it interesting for you guys. But please, if you have anybody, if you want to come on the show, write to us. Say,
Yeah,
hey, I'd like
send
to
it
talk
out.
about my passion
Yeah.
or what I do. And it's a pleasure. You know, your friend Kim, very interesting.
Yeah, I know.
It's,
I know.
you know,
I was like freaking out. Wow.
she's an interesting person, and it was a different type of podcast because
Yep.
it just wasn't just about one thing. It was just about life. We
Yeah.
all have a job. We all, you know, have gone through the dating scene or not. You know, we
We've
all
all had ups and downs.
we all have family that we have to deal with, and that was just a cool sit down conversation. Bunch of laughs because we like to keep people laughing.
That's it.
We had the mental health one, which was,
Yeah.
you know, that was not as funny. That was not
Febo,
as funny
yeah.
at all, but different, and it's something that just needs to be spoken about. And let's talk it out is exactly that. Let's talk it out.
Yeah, it was a year. It was
Yeah.
a year of it was a year of different topics, of different, moments that I guess people had to either come to terms with, explain, relive, enjoy. So I think that's part of the whole process. I think that's what this year represents. It represented, the foundation. And then the new year is, the walls are coming up. We're building our hut, so to speak, our tribe hut.
The hut.
Our hut.
Is there booze in the hut?
I don't know yet.
I need booze. So if you
know
want
that.
me, if I'm in that hut, I want fucking booze.
Oh, that's it. We're going to have to track the birds and the squirrels. So I thank so much to all our followers and our sponsors.
Let's give a shout out to the sponsors. Let's
Absolutely.
definitely give a shout out
Yes,
to
to all our amazing sponsors that helped us throughout the year of 2024. Vanny will make a list of all of them.
No,
Thanks
we
for
can.
volunteering.
No, you're
See,
gonna
that's
say
the
them out.
Teamwork.
You
That's
can-
the teamwork.
Well, it's the regulars. You know,
Yes.
we've had
We've had a lot of new ones.
Have we in
Yes.
2024?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
That's why I want to make sure we get them all
So let's-
correctly listed, Vanny. And that is
Just look at
yours.
the. Oh no! Well,
You
let's.
are the producer.
Sure, let's do it. I mean, we've got Van Cropsel, of
Van
course, has
Cropsel's
been
always been amazing.
from the beginning.
Yes, we had Bira Fanelli,
Bira Fanelli, absolutely.
Mr. David Dakotas.
Uh-huh.
We had SOS Construction. We had Porte et Fenêtre L'Angelier.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yes,
for sure.
we had them a few times.
Tarali
We had
d'Amore.
Richard Babb.
Richard Babb, of course, is
You're
always there.
awesome. So I mean, these are people that we had. We had Nice Shoewear. We had Danny
Oh,
Capaldo.
yeah, Danny, of
Right.
course, of course.
So I mean, we had Leonardo Iacono.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Definitely.
So, I mean, we've had so many that I don't want to miss anybody because these are people who graciously took their time to give and to support. And I thank you so much for that. We thank you so much for that.
You totally got them all. Yeah, I think we got. There's probably, I don't know, there might be more, but it looks like.
Yeah, there's a
You
few.
nailed it.
I mean, there's a few more, and we're going to list everybody because I think it's very important for everybody to be noted and everybody to be recognized for all their support. And it's so super important because, I mean, this is a podcast, and the fact that you are supporting us is encouraging. It is encouraging, and we are very thankful and very grateful for the support. Also, Frank Catrino's daughter.
Oh yes, the school,
the elementary school,
no,
Laval.
What's? Oh my God, what's the school called?
Yes.
Yeah. It's Christina.
It's Christina. Yeah.
Contrino, but she was for the school that she works at. Oh my God, that was so sweet of her to.
Yes, I know. It was She was adorable. You know what I mean?
The Laval private school. Hold on, English private school in Laval. I'm gonna Google this because it's at the tip of my tongue.
North Star Academy.
North Star Academy.
North
you
Star
got
Academy.
it.
Christina Jade Contrino. Académie Étoile du Nord Laval. So that's the one that she also gave to us, which was super, super awesome. Like I'm telling you, the giving was just beautiful, warm, open-hearted, and truly appreciated. And all our guests, we appreciate you as well. And Vanny, we appreciate you as well.
Fucking A.
And Francesco, we appreciate you as well. And my
Sierra.
daughter, Sierra, we appreciate you as well. And M, we appreciate you as well. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Love you.
Have great holidays.
Have a
Great,
fantastic
holidays with the family.
Take care of yourselves. We will see you in the new year. Stay sober. Not really.
No.
Not really.
Okay.
I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
Because I have to.
Ah,
I need a lot.
yes. Bye.
Bye.
In the new year, we'll see you.
Holidays.
Bye.